Jay Edwards, who is the founder and president of Pack2Sustain. Pack2Sustain is a technical services firm that brings nearly 2 decades of CPG, packaging R&D, and sustainability expertise to clients across the packaging industry. Jay is a packaging industry professional with over 19 years of experience in R&D, and will be talking to us today about the PK tool, a packaging analysis tool. Now, Jay, I will turn it over to you and let me know when you want me to advance slides.
Perfect, Caitlin. Thank you very much for the intro and for the opportunity to speak. And I'm just waiting for the screen to change. Great, perfect. And as Caitlin mentioned, I'm going to be discussing PK, which is an acronym which stands for the Packaging Impact Quick Evaluation Tool, and how that tool can inform and enable more sustainable packaging decisions. Next slide. So as we know, the Pet Industry Sustainability Coalition seeks to use collaboration and world-class tools and resources to drive to better business decisions. And some of the best business decisions are the ones which deliver improved social, economic, and environmental performance. Next slide. PK is licensed through the Sustainable Packaging Alliance and provides a means to capture key environmental metrics that are relevant to packaging systems around the world. The tool was created and is consistently improved in a collaborative context, and that collaboration involves SBA internal expertise along with industry developments and input from licensees. And I see here we have a slide, or the slide, that speaks to PK's global application, and this just gives an example of the tool's global reach. Next slide. So here we have a depiction of how PK informs the packaging assessment process, and the gist here is that to the traditional metrics of a given packaging system's market or consumer performance, its functionality, its cost, PK articulates and adds its environmental performance. Next slide. Now, in terms of overall structure, PK is a web-accessed, streamlined LCA tool, and again, it's designed specifically for packaging and to deliver rapid environmental assessments. And these assessments can typically be completed in about half an hour. The outputs from the tool can be used to compare the relative performance of different scenarios or variables that are used to deliver a packaged good. Next slide. Now, the tool has been designed to model and assess packaging systems at a number of what are called levels. And to kind of clarify the jargon, primary packaging is any packaging component in contact with the product, and in PK, those components are captured in the sub-retail or retail level. Secondary packaging is captured at the merchandising level, and tertiary packaging is captured at the traded level. Next slide. Now, more broadly, PK evaluates the environmental performance of packaging systems based on flows of materials and energy coming into the packaging life cycle and flows of emissions and waste that go out of the process. Next slide. And more specifically, PK assesses the impacts of the following packaging design elements. It deals with the material extraction of the raw materials used to make the packaging, the conversion from packaging materials to actual components, transportation of those empty components to a filling facility, the filling of the packaging itself, transportation of packed product to retailers, and lastly, the disposal step. And we can actually model both landfill or a range of recovery options. What is not covered in the tool are the retail and consumer use phases, along with transportation by the consumer. Next slide. Now, PK's life cycle impact assessment indicators are internationally accepted and are actually derived from the CIMA Pro LCA program. Now, to these indicators are also added packaging-specific sustainability metrics, and they've been included to complement the LCA indicators and also to provide a broader range of metrics. These packaging metrics have been developed over time through consultation both with users and also work with key global packaging organizations. Next slide. And just a quick list here. This shows the complete list of PK's LCA environmental indicators, and just to let you know exactly what the tool delivers. Next slide. Now, in terms of outputs, this gives a nice summary of one of the key deliverables from PK, which is a spider chart that can map up to 8 LCA environmental indicators in formats that show as a smaller polygon. Indicate those formats that have the least environmental impact. Next slide. Now, PK also delivers comparison bars. What you can show here is the performance of each packaging option as they relate to a given LCA indicator. And more specifically, you get some detail around how each of the packaging systems levels contribute to overall performance. Now, taking it a bit further as far as analytical depth, you can also look at how each life cycle stage, be it, for example, material manufacture or transportation, etc., contributes to performance within each discrete packaging level. And this type of insight is really crucial for accurate decision making in the pursuit of sincere environmental improvement. So I'll finish the overview of PK's outputs with this list of packaging-specific metrics. And as with the LCA environmental indicators that I mentioned earlier, the user can select or deselect each of these metrics based on the needs for a given analysis. Now, switching over to inputs, the required data for PK is information that's typically or commonly known to a packaging engineer on a given project and can be summarized in this data collection template. This template provides some nice flexibility, especially if the resource who's been tapped to do the LCA work is either outside of packaging or not very close to the project. And the PK architecture also allows for pretty powerful team management functionality. And this feature can be pretty helpful when the tool is used by different organizations under the umbrella of a shared license. So since its launch in 2006, PK has been a tool that has grown and improved regularly. Feedback from licensees, updated LCI data, and emerging industry trends all kind of come together to drive these improvements. And the tool is updated and changes are published about twice a year. And lastly, I show here PK standard pricing, although it's important to note that for industry organizations, there is a great deal of flexibility when it comes to pricing to get the right fit for the organization. So this overview was essentially a very quick synopsis of how PK works, but there are full demo sessions available as well for more information, and that's why that's been listed as a potential next step. And with that, I thank you for your time, and thank you once again for the opportunity to speak.
All right, thanks, Jay, for giving us an overview of that tool. Again, PK is one of several different tools that are out on the market, including Compass, which Ann Badar from Green Blue presented earlier. And as a coalition who represents lots of members, we will hopefully in 2014 be able to determine, hey, what are these tools that our members want and how can we negotiate group pricing to make sure that you can help or we can help you assess your packaging.